Hello, and welcome to Threads from the Wheel. I'm Monica. This is my co-host, Heather. And we are here to talk about Amazon's The Wheel of Time, Season 3, Episode 7, Goldeneyes. So, we like this episode?
Some parts more than others.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely some parts more than others. So it opens up on the Emmons Fielders preparing for the Trollocs. Maxim showing everybody, this, that, and the other, and someone hollers Trollocs,
But it's not.
like 100 yards away. Obviously human beings with wagons.
You know how it is
They're
when
just
people
on
are
edge.
keyed up and on edge, like you said,
Hmm.
everything's gonna be a dang frolic.
Yeah, I did human Trolloc, human Trolloc. They're supposed to be like 10 feet tall.
Tink Tinker Wagon Trolloc.
Exactly that too. That too. But
Oh,
poor things were just scared. Um, and then we have Bane and Chiad again being openly rude about the Tinkers. I don't know how I feel about that. In the books, the two don't like each other. The Tinkers just feel sorry for the Aiel, and the Aiel, they both call each other the Lost Ones. It's not the I don't remember it ever being the level of contempt that Bane and Chiad have shown.
yeah, I mean
Uh,
they they called the Aram a coward. Yeah,
mhm.
they're talking about how handsome he is, but he's not
Yeah,
bad for a coward. Kind of, it
yeah,
was rude. I loved
yeah.
how Loyal picked up on their
Yeah,
hand talk.
that's in my notes. Loyal is learning hand talk. They're letting him learn hand talk.
Well, he's smart. He's picking up on it.
Yeah, yeah. But that's supposedly a close held secret, or maybe because there is some hand talk that all the IEL use, and then each of the warrior groups has their own special, this is us only hand talk. So maybe that was the generic IEL as opposed to actual maiden hand talk. So
Maybe. I don't know.
I, I couldn't tell you either because it's not really described in the books,
It was
other
just
than
funny.
they're just doing stuff.
It was funny when he was like, I don't think
Yeah.
he'd like that very much.
And it really made me go, what did they just say? Do I want to know? No.
I refused to let my imagination run with that one because it could have gotten ugly.
Hmm. Um, and then we're back with Maxim teaching the two rivers, oh, it's a good thing about a poison spear. All you have to do is touch your enemy and hold the line. But you hold the bloody line. Give me a long bow and I'll hold your line all night.
I don't think you could draw long.
I was pleasantly surprised that Maxim could, because those bows, the way they're described in the books anyway, they're supposed to be like 5 feet tall, I think.
Mm.
I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, a longbow is pretty big.
mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
It takes a push. Oh,
Mr.
his butt's
Spot.
up on the bed. Yeah, No. And now he walks off. Brat and a
He
half.
he he has a mind of his own, and you are not his mommy, and he is mad that mommy's not home.
Yes. He's very mad that mommy's not home. And it's coming up on 9 o'clock, and that's their bedtime. And she's supposed to be here to snuggle with him, and she's late.
Oh no.
So
That's like missing dinner.
shh. Um, so yeah, those longbows it takes a lot of strength to draw.
Yeah,
Um, and then we see the wolf banner for the first time.
I know you love it.
And it's pulled straight from a piece of fan art. I will see if I can find a link to it and post it in the comments. Um, but it's the three young men and a banner for each of them. Matt's will make more sense later. We haven't gotten to that part of his storyline. Um, but yeah, Perrin says we don't need any banners in the Two Rivers, much less that one. And every time someone called him Lord, he says, "Don't call me that."
Lord Perrin,
To the
don't
boy.
call me that.
And I'm closing the door.
Lord Goldeneyes. That one's pretty cool.
Hopefully he will keep the volume down. Anyway, um, excuse me. Fail tells him that they need something to believe in, to rally around. And she's absolutely right.
Mhm.
She usually is. Usually.
Well, she is a woman.
Yeah. This file is better than this file is older than the one in the books. In the books, she was like 15, and it showed. Actually, no, I think she was 14. Um, but yeah, it showed. Um, so there's less of that nonsense going on here. Um, and then she tells Perrin they're going to meet us at the pass. Us? Aren't you coming? Like, obviously you don't mean me.
Yeah. And Milan is
Um,
working with the girls, helping them, figure out how to channel more. And
mhm,
she notices that the wisdom is watching them
mhm,
and realizes she can see her weaves. That means she can channel.
mhm.
So she approaches her and, asks her. And she's like, basically, do I have to quit drinking?
You want me to join your child army? Mhm.
Poor
Uh,
wisdom gets sober and then everything goes to hell.
yeah, poor days. Um, so then we get to the pass and we see that they're meeting the White Cliffs. Because when you're desperate, you're desperate. And they're trained. Uh, what gets me in Perrin has to actually try and talk the White Cloaks into killing Trox. I know that they don't want to save Perrin. He thinks everyone's a bloody dart friend. But turning down the chance to kill Alex.
I called the White Cloaks the He-Man Woman Haters Club a couple episodes ago. And I think that's really just what they are. I don't see them as soldiers or helpers in any way, shape, or form.
They are trained with swords, um, to greater and lesser extent. Um, and they showed that here in this episode. Not the best judges of character, and they're led by a drunken coward, but Dane is grieving, and he's still a bastard. Um, and then we get Bane and Shiad sneaking up on Loyal while he's writing, and he caves and offers to play Maiden's Kiss. I don't know what to make of this Bane and Shiad. Well, these Aiel just in general are in the books they are very stoic. And these I get TV's a visual medium, so they're having to put the story on display, so to speak, because it's a visual medium, it still just doesn't quite feel right. Not for the Aiel anyway. Um, Maxim brings in a bowl for Alana. Boiled turnips
Well,
or fresh
turnips or
fish?
fresh figs?
If I remember right, even in the books, she likes figs. But yeah, that was a really nice scene. Getting to see the two of them be something other than angry or sad. It be something other than grieving.
Alana asked him if he wants her to turn the bond off, give
Mhm.
him some peace before the battle. He's like, I don't want to miss a moment of you.
If this is going to be our last night together, I don't want to miss a minute.
And then he pulls out a fig
And
and
proceeded
she
to eat it.
and she calls him the B word.
Like, what was it? Goat kissing Trolloc. That's what Uno used to say. Mhm. Um, and then we have Fael and Perrin in the forge.
You're no fun when you're waiting to die.
I had that in my notes too. Mhm. That whole scene with that was just lovely. Um,
Well, he's deathly afraid something's going to happen to her
yeah.
because it's already happened to his first wife.
Hmm.
He's digging Fael, so he doesn't want anything to happen to her. I can really understand that.
Hmm.
And he's also desperate to show up for his people, and he's so afraid that they're going to lose and just get wiped out.
Not afraid, certain. At some point in the episode, he says, death doesn't scare me. It's what happens beforehand.
Yeah.
Um, So, it's I also have hit. Enough. It's too far for you. Get out. I mean it. Just leave. Try and make me. Maybe then you'll see I don't need saving. Choose to fight, just like everyone here is. Just like your wife did. We deserve respect before battle and honor after it. Save your guilt for the enemies that escape.
Had some really, really great lines this
Mm,
episode. Earlier when
definitely.
they were talking about, the wolf head banner, she
Hmm.
said, if the two rivers wanted the best general, they'd
Yeah.
follow Alana. The best fighters, the Aiel. They follow you because you're one of them. If you can fight monsters, so can they. I like her.
Mhm.
I really do.
Yeah. Hmm.
Sorry, it's still pollen season in the South.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait,
Mhm.
it's like always pollen season in the South.
Yeah, there's a local sign around here that says pollen, Georgia state glitter. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so
My
then
my
we go back to Loyal, Bane and Giad playing Maiden's Kiss. And Loyal refuses to play.
because he figured out
Mhm.
getting them to stop the game saves his life. So their tow is paid.
One of theirs is.
Well, yeah.
I mean, and at least that way they would be free to choose to stay or go. It wouldn't be out of some debt to him.
Yeah.
So they see right through it. Poor Loyal. He tried. He really tried.
And then Perrin shows Matt's sisters the portrait of him blowing the horn of a lyre. They make fun of it.
Their reaction.
It looks like a sheep's bladder.
Matt the bladder blower. Sheep tutor.
Could
These
write
are
a song
siblings.
about it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You guys could write a song about it.
So then we're in the pre-battle meeting. Uh,
They see that there are Trollocs on the ridge, and Alana had shut off all but the mountain pass because the Trollocs won't cross deep water.
mhm.
And there was only the one way into town or into Emmons
Into the
Field.
valley.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
And of course, the Tinkers won't fight.
Yeah.
So they
But
set it up so that the Tinkers can take the children because there is no leaf without the seed. So if it looks like the
mhm.
battle's lost, then they'll be out
Yes.
in the tunnel to get to safety. And then Loyal tells us he has to shut the waygate to cut off the Trollocs reinforcements.
Mhm. Yes. Three fighters won't make a difference tonight, but one book might.
And I swear your name will sing in the world's ears, Lord Perrin Goldeneyes. Don't call me that.
Oh, so then we have the Emmonsfielders at the gate of the pass. And everybody is, the last one's in and close the gate. And then Lionel, Bane, and Chiad are up at the way gate. Out in so few and out in the open. Wetlanders. Even their shadow runners are stupid. Yeah, it's gotten to a point now where in my notes, Bane and Chiad has just gotten down to BC.
I, I finally learned how to
Bobby
spell their
100.
names. I
Hmm.
finally learned how to spell their names. They were just either the Isle women or the maidens for most of my notes.
And then we're back at the pass. Everyone's bracing themselves. And they start in with the longbows. And apparently nobody showed Maxim a flippin' longbow before this. Because he sees that what they can do. He's like, yeah, Two Rivers longbow indeed. It's like, yeah.
Well, it was funny earlier in the episode, Maxim and Alana are talking, and Maxim is just like, we're all gonna die.
Hmm.
And Alana's like, I have a little better faith, but Maxim's just like, we're all gonna die.
Hmm.
Um, you skip the part where Perrin sings and everybody joins in just before
Oh, yes. I thought that
the Trollocs
later.
arrive.
Okay. Yeah, because that was right before the Trollocs arrived. Yeah, I did miss that. Yeah. Yeah. Um, and then Maxim reaches out to Alana through the bond, which I thought was a really cool use of the way it works that didn't really get explored in the books. It's described more as a general feeling, though I mean I guess you can manipulate that into okay, well when you feel X through the bond, then some prearranged signal that they could set up. Um, then the these dagger shaped hail, I guess.
Basically,
Uh, eh, Bode or her sister, I don't know her sister's name, one of the two girls. That was way better than lightning.
yeah, because she had said, can you shoot
Yeah,
lightning bolts? The other
the
asked
other
if I
I
could
said
shoot
I
lightning bolts.
did. You could just see it on Lala's face. She was like, I'm going to strangle Moraine when I see her. These children are going to be the end of me. Um, and everybody rejoices. Okay, yeah, that's it. They gave up and went home. And Maxim and Perrin and Fail are looking at each other like, uh-uh, no, no, this is bad. And Maxim sends them back to the village to see what's what. Um, and as Days and the girls and Alana are all coming back into the village, Perrin sees something in the tree line and says, hollers to Alana to watch out.
Behind you.
Oh, behind you. Yeah. And again, she gets hit with an arrow. She's always getting hit with arrows.
It's like right through her sternum.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad. Um, and then Days was able to put up a force field all by herself. Days Conquer.
She held it
Yeah.
as long as she could. You could see it starting as it got
Mhm.
hit. You see it starting to getting holes in it like a spider web. And she held it as long as she could, but
Yeah.
poor lady, like I said earlier, she got sober and then all of a sudden things ain't good.
Um,
Sorry about
and
that.
then Maxim about falls on his behind. And my first thought was, "Okay, is Maxim gonna be able to fight with her so injured?" But he rallies and he gets the demonstrators.
Maxim's line went after that rain of hail daggers comes down.
Hmm.
She's going to be insufferable
Well,
now.
after this, yes. Um, but I love what he says to the Owens fielders. Soldiers don't win battles. What wins battles is being too dumb to know when you're beaten, too stubborn to fall down and die, and too nasty to let the wheel crush you without jabbing a stick in its spokes. What do you say? Can the people of the two rivers manage that? Can you?
That was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
Loved that.
Yeah.
And we cut to Bane and Chiad and
Mhm.
Loyal, and they're going after the guard at the
Yeah.
Waygate, and Loyal's got a hammer, and Loyal is pretty formidable with that thing.
Mhm.
It was kind of wild to see. I was not expecting that much enthusiasm from Loyal.
Yeah, he was definitely putting a long handle on his axe. That's and Ogier saying for being hasty, and that's antithesis of yeah, never be hasty. That's the epitome of no, don't do that.
No.
Um, then we're Perrin and Fael are in the village when Maxim comes in. We held them off as long as we could, and they just there are too many of. He says, Your people did you proud."
And then the white cloaks show up with their flag of peace.
Yeah. I wonder who tucked Dane into that.
And
Mm, yeah.
then
Um,
Perrin sees who's with the white cloaks while wearing a white cloak and the general's shield thing.
just before that, Alana's with the Coffin girls, and she's asking them to try and heal her. Yeah, just before, but that much channeling, especially as new as they are to it, is exhausting. On top of being terrified out of their minds, that is not the headspace to
No,
to try. I mean, I'm sure they did try, but that's not going to get you very far.
no.
Um, but yeah, like you said, Thane is with the White Cloaks, and Perrin shouts, "He's a dark friend. I didn't know. You should have."
You think everybody else is? Why wouldn't he be?
Yeah,
Dummy.
I and I seeing the way they turned on the other White Cloaks the way they did. I think they were never actually White Cloaks in the first place.
No, they were dark friends pretending to be white cloaks, like just like
Thane
Fane.
and the Dark Friends took out a squad or however many
Hmm.
and took their place.
Hmm.
And this blood. Oh yeah, we ran into Trollocs,
Yeah,
which
we didn't have time to polish our cloaks.
like Dane's even washed his in a month. Call him a black cloak pretty soon.
About that time, chaos is unleashed. Fane and his dark friends and the Trollocs
Yeah.
show up and
Mhm.
they send the Tinkers out with the kids.
Oh, and Dane told Perrin he decided it was the right thing to do. And I have in my notes, even a blind squirrel finds a nut on occasion.
Finally, they do something right.
For real. But yeah, Mistress Elvire tells Arm's grandmother, and I'm blanking on her name. Um,
Isla,
yes, Isla. Tells Isla to grab the kids and go. Uh,
back to the Waygate. Loyal's trying to break it with the hammer,
yeah.
and Bane and Chiad are gonna kill whoever
Mm-hmm.
tries to approach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we see the Tinkers in the woods
Well,
with the children.
the Trollocs and Darkfriends just sort of roll on up to Bane and Chiana and they just look at each other and grin. Nope.
Slowly bring up
Right.
their,
Back to it.
oh, it's party time.
Yeah. Yeah. Time to dance the spears. Yep. But yeah, and then the Tinkers are in the woods.
And we see Aram, and he has a baby, small baby in his arms. And there's a Trolloc. It
Mhm.
attacks another Tinker, and Aram tries to get to hide, but the baby cries, and the Trolloc hears and starts to come after him. And he
Mhm.
just happens to see a knife on the ground and just gets it in time and takes out the Trolloc. But unfortunately, his grandmother sees, and her face just falls.
Yeah. He might as well have died right then and there, as far as she's concerned. I
Well, we saw the in the episode 4 when Rand goes through the columns. We saw that with the first of the Tinker boys.
mhm.
Cover your face. I used to have a son with a face like yours.
I wouldn't want to
So
be
yeah.
on the face of a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Perrin,
But I did
I have
like
it.
this this version of it in the books. It's before the fight happens, and they're in the pre-battle planning stage, and there's a barrel of swords just by the door at the wine spring, and it was his parents who died in the books instead of his grandfather. Uh, but he's just angry and grieving, and comes in, and he's like, "Are these for anyone?" And he takes it out of anger as opposed to desperation and fear. So I like this version of it better.
Well, I mean, he was trying to save his life and an
Hmm.
innocent child.
Yeah.
And I understand the way of the leaf. It is a good thought, but
Hmm.
it's impractical in real life. No one can keep up with that because then you're stuck with we bury our dead and we go on. What else is there?
Yeah. And
That's
that's
kind of
been brainwashed into them for centuries.
it's just really a crappy way to live, if it is even life,
Hmm.
to not be able to defend yourself or defend
Hmm.
the innocent.
Hmm.
It's just a bridge too far.
Yeah. And then
I
we're
like
back. Mhm.
I like the Men in Black philosophy. Don't start nothing, there won't be nothing.
Yeah, yeah. And then we're back to Emmons Field and the fight. Um,
Aaron tells Fael to stay behind him, and she's
be
like, "Quit trying to
before that,
protect me."
before that, what would you give for the two rivers? Everything.
Everything.
Then show them. But yeah, kill the ones I miss. I love
Yes.
that line.
And Fael's just like, "Oh,
Yes, yes, he gets it. He finally gets it.
Mac Daddy Perrin is back, and he's got an axe in one hand and a hammer in the other."
Uh-huh. Yep, yep. And those are his weapons in the books too.
And Fael is a bad mamma jam. It's not the word
Mhm.
that's in my notes, but it'll work.
What was Samuel L. Jackson writing your notes for a moment there?
Samuel L. Jackson narrates my life. So yes, my life
Yeah.
requires the use of
Much profanity.
MF, way too much for Morgan Freeman to narrate my life.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I can see that. I can believe that. Yeah.
So we are at my favorite part of this
Yes.
episode.
Yes.
Oh, oh dear Lord. I actually rewound the scene 3 times and giggled like a little
Only
girl
three?
every time on the first watch.
Oh,
Yes, only 3.
yeah.
So Valda finds Alana and says, "Step away, children." And they
Yeah.
recognize him. They scream for mother. And he bursts into
Right.
flames and cooks alive. And it was beautiful, beautiful, fitting, so perfect. I wrote in my notes, poetic
Yeah.
justice.
And better than what he gets in the books. Though in the books he's not a questioner. He's still a nasty, horrible excuse of a human. And one of the other children of the light challenges him to a battle under the light, basically a sword duel until death, for having assaulted a member of his family. Um, and by that time, Valda is actually a Lord Captain Commander, a title he got. That's the Grand Poobah. He convinced another child to kill the old Lord Captain Commander and then killed the guy he put up to it in the first place to avenge and get everyone to elect him the new Lord Captain Commander. It's like, dude,
What a dirtbag.
yeah. Um,
Yeah, I much preferred his fiery exit.
yeah, there's in no way can you say that this had any honor to it. I mean, exactly what you said, poetic justice. And that, yeah, too bad it can only happen once. Um, oh, and then we're back in the two rivers, and Thane sees Perrin take out two Trollocs at once.
Oh no, I think I done messed up.
Yeah, think, Thane,
Just,
you think.
just a little.
Um, and then we have Loyal in the ways, and he sees the torches. Um, and he starts humming. And I didn't catch it until my second watch of what he was humming.
It was the same song that Perrin was singing.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, and then he starts hammering on the bridge he's standing on. And I'm like, dude, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing, dude? No, no, that's not how you kill a Waygate. No. I- and all I could think of was there's a saying in the books to anchor the Ogier and bring mountains down on your head. Long since regarded as an expression to mean to do the impossible. Not watching this scene.
It was difficult to watch that, but it
Yeah,
as soon as he started doing that, the music changed, and it was the Heroes of the Horn song.
I missed that. Mhm.
I didn't get that on the first watch, but I clued in on the second. Okay, third watch, but whatever.
Yay, mommy's home. Maybe should spot them. Shut up now. Or not.
You're late.
Um, but I am still fully on the train of no body, no death. It is possible he could land on another bridge.
So next season we could see a Loyal the White type thing show up.
Sort of. Yeah. In the books, when he goes to close the way gate and close it for good, uh, it takes like 3 or 4 days, and he barely makes it back alive. But I think that might be something like what we see next season of him, you know, battered and bruised within an inch of his life. Um, in a steading somewhere on the mend, sort of thing.
One can hope. I
Yeah.
really like Loyal. I do. He's a
And Rafe said that Loyal
fun
was his
character.
favorite character. I went, no, Rafe isn't going to kill him. What if Rafe didn't write this episode? Um, that mean, nope, no body, no death.
I agree. So Perrin and Fane get head to head,
Hmm.
and Perrin starts to kill him, but he stops and he's like, "Why? Why are you doing this to us?"
Why do you
And
hate us so much?
yeah, and Fane was like, "I don't care about you. The Dark Lord wants the two rivers wiped off the map to send a message to the Dragon Reborn."
Hmm. Yep.
And Perrin tells him, "We are farmers and shepherds, not a soldier among us. And you are the only one afraid to die.
You're
I
the
can
only
smell
one
your
who
fear.
smells afraid.
I can smell your fear."
Hmm.
It makes sense knowing that he's a wolf brother, that he would have
Hmm.
heightened senses like that, but they haven't done anything with that
Yeah.
so far.
Hmm.
So it was a little jarring at first, but it's like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, yeah, wolf brother. That's why he has the golden eyes, and yeah,
Yeah. And he can also see much better in low light and much further. And well, incredible sense of smell, and also smell a variety of emotions. Uh,
that's why he told Alana behind you, because if he can see further in the
mhm.
dark or low light situation, he can see something. So
Yeah.
that nobody else could.
Hmm. Yep. Um,
So he gives Fane the ultimatum. Run far,
he's
far away
never
and
come.
never come back, or die right here for nothing and no one.
What makes you think I'll keep that promise? Trust.
And trust that I'll keep my end of it if you don't.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
Fane calls off his army of Trollocs and Dark Friends. I don't know
Mhm.
if that was Old Tongue or if that was
That
Trolloc
was Trolloc
language.
speak.
It
Yeah.
was guttural and kind of gross sounding.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes it Trolloc speak.
Sorry.
Um, yeah. So then it's the morning after, and people are piecing the village back together. This poor village, the poor set is getting destroyed left, right, and center.
Well, that's what it's designed to do, but yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, it's kind of wild. And Aram keeps seeing, he's looking
Hmm.
over at his grandmother and she will not look in his direction. And he's just so forlorn. And I'm pretty sure it was Egwene's mother was like,
Mr. Salvier, yes.
we're gonna need a new blacksmith.
Yeah. I
And
really hope he takes her up on that.
it looked like he was going to.
Because in the books, after he picks up the sword, he loses himself because he doesn't have anything else. He's lost his family, his way of life, his culture, his everything. And he he gets indoctrinated and he goes off the deep end. Um, but yeah, and the girls go up to Alana and ask, "Will you be taking us to the tower?" And she says, "I think the pattern has other plans for us, since you've saved my life twice. Though I count it as three times, but
Yeah.
the first time she was shot,
Mm-hmm.
then from Valda.
Yeah.
I mean, she looked fully healed up from having been shot the second time.
Well, she didn't have a gaping hole in her chest, so
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, three. Unless there's some other random channeler that they didn't show on screen. And they
And
find
then
Will's book.
mm,
It's here in my notes. The wheel turns, and the red eagle of Manetheren becomes a wolf. The two rivers stands alone against the shadow, the blacksmith to lead them. A man who took that role, not because he wanted to lead, but because his people wanted to follow. A man of honor, a man whose family was taken from him, but who stood tall in his sorrow and protected those he could. Paranibara, my friend.
I will admit I got a little teary eyed. Okay, I cried like a little girl on the first
Mm-hmm.
watch. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that was well done.
Very. Mm-hmm.
And then the white cloaks, blah, blah. Um, yeah, Freudian slip. My family coat of arms ties in the back. Anyway, the white cloaks come to collect Perrin
Mm-hmm.
because he had made that deal with.
Yeah, he did promise. And late or not, they did participate in the fight. Brought the fight.
I was gonna say they brought the problem.
Yeah, but they did fight.
Yes.
in the books they sat on their butts. And when Dane goes, all right, it's time for you to come with us, the entire village is like, and where do you think you're going?
Well,
Kind
I
of like
think
what Fael said. I'm surprised you can, I mean, it makes sense that you can't count.
you're such a child.
You call yourself children, so it shouldn't surprise me that you can't count.
There you go. That's it. Yeah, Rael was not happy about that in any way, shape, or form.
Hmm.
But Perrin is going to go willingly. He says violence never ends until someone says enough.
Which
And
means
they cut to Isla in her face, just like
she is so
he
proud.
gets it. Mm-hmm.
She is so proud. And that makes her cutting off Aram cut all the more deep.
Mm-hmm.
And because she can be so proud of a stranger.
Someone she knows killed a bunch of people and monsters,
Yeah.
but Arm defends himself
And an
and
infant.
a tiny baby.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting because even if the villagers mounted some sort of jailbreak, Perrin wouldn't go with them.
Probably not.
I mean, given what he said here, he's not going to do anything to defend himself from the White Cloaks. It's going to be up to Dane to change his mind. And
Do we
he has
trust
to.
that?
He has to.
But
The
I
story
know.
demands it. I don't know how. I don't know how they're going to pull it off, but he has to, or Perrin has to get out of this somehow or other, whether it's Dane or someone else.
There's a lot of no compulsion.
No, no, that
Well,
is a forbidden weave.
mm,
Uh, and even the small things someone might have accidentally taught themselves before they went to the tower,
yeah, you said that
it's
kind of
not
gets,
going to be strong enough to make them go against something they so strongly believe.
yeah, you said
Uh,
that kind of gets pushed out of them.
mhm. Well, yeah, yeah, it's disciplined out of them to even
I was
do
gonna say beaten, but that's not true.
in the book. Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
I don't know.
Um,
So as they're leaving, the whole village is saying, "Hail, Lord Perrin Goldeneyes."
yeah, Lord Goldeneyes, Lord Parrot, Lord, yeah. And for once, he didn't say, "Stop calling me that."
A part of him had to be proud because he had done his duty
Yeah,
to his people.
yeah, he had to have
Yes,
at least been proud that they survived.
they lost some people, but it could have been a lot worse.
Hmm. My favorite line from there's a whole chunk in the first book that is the fall of Manetheren. But then at the end of it, it says, but the people had been saved. And that's really what that moment at the end was. The people had been saved. There's all this cost that came, that it took to get here, but here we are.
Mhm. And in a couple of days, we'll have the season finale. He who comes with the dawn.
which is what the Karn means in the
Hmm.
it's Old Tongue for he comes with the dawn. So yeah,
And
uh,
I did watch the trailer for that one. It looks pretty interesting.
he's going to introduce himself to the rest of the IEL. And I have a feeling he's going to tell them some things that they don't want to hear. But
Like what he saw in Ruidian. Ooh, he's not supposed to do
Rourke,
that. Rourke
and
told him, we don't speak of this. Ooh, that could be good, or that could be really, really bad.
it will it will separate the weak from the strong. If you aren't mentally sturdy enough to handle this, then you aren't sturdy enough to face what's coming for us.
Well, didn't the prophecy say he will
A
destroy
remnant
us?
of a remnant shall be saved. Mhm. Yeah.
And the trailer looked like Lanfear and Moraine throw down.
Mhm.
That could be interesting and
Yeah.
sad.
Mhm. Yeah. But we will see. Alrighty, so if you
Oh, one thing I did
oh,
notice in the
mm-hmm.
trailer, you see Lanfear and Rand together, and Lanfear has Egwene's haircut,
Oh, yeah, she would.
but Rand calls her a monster. And she didn't seem to like that very, very well.
Yeah, don't say. I can't imagine why.
Heaven forbid a man tells the truth.
Yep. To live there? No. Okay, so if you enjoyed the episode, leave us a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts on it. As always, leave a like, subscribe, and we will see y'all next Tuesday. Bye.